Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer, it is time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today I wanted to showcase gameplay from one of the Summit maps that I've been running, fairly heavily juiced. Summit was chosen just because it's an easy tier 16 to source, and I discussed the decisions as to how I'm buffing the maps in another video. But the long and short of it is maximum scarabs, but only using budget scarabs, very cheap ones that add monsters to the map. And we are rolling it to have a reasonable amount of pack size, 40% Delirious with Labyrinth rewards, and then we are running it with all of the various Watchstones. Misinformation, Stalwart Defenders, and Terror for +3 levels. That means that every item that drops there is item level 86, 87, or 88. And Booming Populace just to flood the area with extra monsters. All of these have been sexented to give an extra pack, and as a result there's an enormous amount of monsters in these zones, and additionally lots and lots of Delirium rewards. So in we go. I just realised I forgot to put a master mission on it. That's okay. May get one by chance, but even if I don't, not the end of the world. You will definitely get Omniphobia on these maps. You may also get Kosis the Revelation. Kosis is pretty tough. No shame in dodging away from him. He's not very rewarding either. Omniphobia is dangerous if you stuff up. Basically because he will one-shot easily, but he's very easy to dodge. You'll notice that I have a number of just random bases showing up there. The reason for that is very deliberate. It's because all the bases that I've got showing up on my loot filter sell in bulk for 3 chaos or more. So those are the top. Oh, well, let's just grab these. Curse effect is good. Ball lightning damage is unfortunately only the. Well, it's not a good enchant. There's better enchants for ball lightning. Okay, so we have Baran the Crusader in here. That means that we're going to get really rippy mobs from him. I'm probably going to die as a result of that because he's genuinely very dangerous when you're in a situation where you've got so much extra damage stacked on the mob, on the mapped mods. So the fact that this is a tier 19 map instead of a tier 16 is effectively a 15% more multiplier on the damage that monsters cause. Unfortunately, this Harbinger is attacking me, including with Delirium attacks, but I can't actually see where his mob pack is, so I'm looking for it. There it is. Got to dodge those Delirium attacks at all costs. I've had many a stupid death to those. Always entirely my fault, but they are still funny. I'll probably get one on this. So the Shaper Scarabs have been really good. Really, really good. The reason for that is that pretty much every Shaper shield base is worth something when it's item level 86. And you get a fair few shields dropping. As well as that, some of the better bows are in the 20 chaos range as well. So another just normal sorcerer boots, that's another 3 to 4 chaos. That was a Skitterbots enchant on that. I'm just not sure whether that's a good one or not. You'll notice that the random reward that I've got is Labyrinth here. It's the first time that's happened. Every other time I've had mediocre additional rewards. So you get 2 of them will be Labyrinths because this is a 40% Delirious map. And then you'll get a 3rd random one. See, one thing that's worth pointing out is you'll notice there's a lot of corrupted stuff that's coming from one of the sextants that I'm using. One thing I did forget to mention is that there's that Labyrinth enchanted boots will drop everywhere as well, and those can be a tricky one to pick up because they'll drop in annoying spots. I'm playing Inventory Tetris at this point because there's just so much crap that I've looted in here. I need to check if that Kauri Scepter is worth anything or not. I think it is. So that's why I've looted it, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I usually do all of my checking of value at the end and find out, oh, I'm an idiot, I picked that up, I shouldn't have. So, what am I doing here? I'm wanting to make space for these boots. Enchanted boots are an interesting case because they're item level 86. They have the potential to roll 35% move speed on them, and if you get 35% move speed on boots, it can often be worth. Well, sorry, if you get an enchant on boots that's good, it can often just be worth rolling 35% move speed and something else on them. You don't need to roll them to be great, because they will generally sell at that point. However, it is two-tone boots and sorcerer boots that sell best. Can't get two-tone boots in this area at all. And at this point, we've got a full inventory. I'm going to continue along because I do tend to die a lot in these maps, and I'll be able to pick up little shit like the. I'll be able to pick up little shit like that rogue markers pile there. Okay, oh, I thought two-tone boots couldn't drop at all in here. I was wrong. That's interesting. That's unfortunately only a Merciless tier enchant. However, that will definitely sell. So let's just make some room. We'll drop that on the ground for now. Pick that up. Drop one of the weaker ones of these on the ground. That isn't going to sell. And then the rest of this Temporal Chains Arts duration. And, okay, lots of stuff here worth picking up. Is that Shaper? No, it's not. It just looked like it was Shaper for some reason. Now at this point, we're just going to push on. We can play real reckless because the inventory is completely full, so if we die, all we lose is XP. And who really cares about XP in a league where you've got heists that give you an incredible amount of XP? Now you'll notice there that that's a Baronite item level 86. Baronite items don't gain any new mods in the pool over their level 85 components. That's true for all the Conqueror influenced items. So it's really only the difference between 86 and 85 is that's only cheap construction. The difference between 86 and 85 is actually mostly in the minds of buyers. So that's dropped a set of Assassin's Boots on the ground. I'll just keep track on that. Mana regen enchant. That does tend to sell sometimes, so I will come back for that. And I'm just going to keep clearing, probably end up dying somewhere. If I don't, great, but if I do, it's no big deal. I stuck the Parandus on the map just for the purposes of getting 4 extra big packs. However, that does mean that I've got the Parandus dude here to talk to. So as soon as it's safe, he's selling 3 Chaos for 228 coins. That's marginal. It's not worth engaging in trades for, but I do think it's worth buying. Just not worth going out of your way to pick up Chaos. To pick up Parandus coins if you don't already have them. So if I remember, the next time I exit the map, I'll bring in 228 Parandus coins. And if I don't remember, well, I don't remember. There's a Baronite pack. They really are dangerous in this sort of map. They're dangerous at the best times, but they're much worse here. Unfortunately, that's only an Edict of Spite on those boots. Alright, that I've got to duck away from that. If you're super tanky, you can play these a lot more recklessly than I am. This character is super squishy, and that's just sheerly out of laziness. Just haven't bothered to do much really with the gearing at all. I've just been playing and stuffing around more than actually focusing on optimizing this league. Alright, so here's a Harbinger. These encounters go for a while, and they're fairly dangerous at tier 19 and with all the other stuff going on. They also just drop a staggering amount of items, which will be Shaper and or Baran influenced. I've used up all my Flame Dash charges there, so I've got to be really careful for a bit.
I need more pockets.
So you'll notice that there's a time delay between you clicking stepping on those things in the ground, the pustules that spawn, not these delirium things, but the other ones, the white ones, the ones that spawn the trash mobs that chase you. There is a time delay between you stepping on them and them going off, and that's something that you need to be quite conscious of. So here we go, it's about 3 seconds until you can damage them. So you need to be conscious of that when playing these sorts of maps, because I've had a lot of deaths to stuffing that up. But you're like, oh, I'll be fine, I'll preload lots of damage and then I'll detonate my mines and then everything will be dead. But actually no, not everything is dead. Now there's a Parandus chest somewhere here, there it is. Conditional movement speed is really good. So this is one of those examples of a set of boots that were this item level 85, it would be rubbish, you wouldn't pick it up. But at item level 86, that is a conditional 43% movement speed once it's rolled. That is actually getting looted. I'm going to pick that up in place of one of these sets of sorcerer boots for the moment, because it doesn't show on the loot filter. And that's really something I need to fix. I should have item level 86 enchanted boots should always show. They just don't drop in normal gameplay. You're only going to get them if you do something like I'm doing now, or if you are enchanting boots, in which case you would only ever do it on sorcerer boots and two-tone boots. Okay, so that was a blueprint or a contract. I think it's a blueprint. That's always a good sign. Unfortunately, there's no item level 86 blueprints in the game, or well, item level 86 ones exist, but they're identical to 83. It seems to be an oversight that they've left out higher level blueprints and contracts. Alright, so we still have 50 monsters plus left, and we haven't even gotten into the boss room. So there's still quite a bit left in this map. These take a while, these maps. So you can certainly do them faster if your build's more powerful than I am, but they're not something that you can blitz through, and they're also something that you want to spend a bit of time looting, because there's just so much to pick up. So many of these bases that you're seeing will sell in bulk for 3 to 4 chaos. Interestingly, I haven't seen Omniphobia yet. I hope he's not in the boss room. That'd be brutal. He has been in every single map that I've run, whereas Cosus the Revelation's been in about 25%, I'd like to think. So this is Void Sphere being awesome, like Void Sphere is. It just basically makes a whole lot of monsters unable to catch up to me. Lets me then deal with the ones behind me.
Low on mana.
And it's really good in conjunction with these 3-second delay spawns. So we had a set of things here, Ancestor Totem, Chaos Damage, Conditional Chaos Damage Tier 1, that's actually really good. I'm definitely going to pick that one up now, just so that I don't forget that it's there, because that's one of the top enchants. Let me just find something I don't mind dropping. Yeah, that's a top tier enchant, one that you really want to always keep an eye out for. And of course I can't pick up that crap, can I? Have any space. Goldring has some potential.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Had I remembered to put Elver on this map, instead of getting sort of 8 1/4 delirium layers, and with a little bit more once I'd done the metamorph and the boss, I would have hit 9. So I would have been paid off if I hadn't stuffed that up. But hey, You will make a mistake on every map. Alrighty, so that's basically everything outside the boss room. Let's go and do the boss, and then after the boss we'll come back and we'll loot all of this. Oh no, we've still got a couple of trash mobs around. It's always the ones you forget about that kill you too. So clearly there's a harbinger here that is going to have friends that I'm not aware of the location of. There's a thicket bow. That's an item level 86 plus thicket bow. That's a solid 25 chaos for Shaper. I've had a whole bunch of those. Or was it Shaper or was it... yeah, it's Shaper. Wasn't sure if it was Shaper or Crusader for a second then. Yeah, Shaper's what you want there. Although Crusader's okay on bows too.
I need more pockets.
So, as always, pick up those things because they're worth something. Alrighty, now at this point, let's drop down a town portal and we will go and fight the boss. This boss is really rippy, and he's one of the things that was a real draw against running summit maps. You see what happens there. When he spawns, he can drop on top of you. Additionally, if he's ever able to land, a lot of his attacks can one-shot you if you're as squishy as I am. Not just the delirium abilities, but his baseline skills. So you need to keep conscious of where he is. And at this point, all of the trash ones also have delirium skills as well. Alright, that's his leap. So he's leapt off, and now at this point we'll go through the valley. Yikes. Thought I was in real trouble there. Okay, so it's worth coming back in here after we've exited. That's a solid 10 chaos worth of small drops there. Make that 13 now with the Convoking Wand. But I haven't actually tested how well they sell in bulk. I know that people are listing them at 3, but I'm just not sure whether it's a case of sells instantly at 2, doesn't sell at 3. So preload all of your mines, come in, say hello, detonate everything, let him commit to his skill, figure out which one it is. And now we're in the madhouse part of this fight. Alright, that's him committing to a delirium. That's actually really useful. You have to dodge those attacks. They'll one-shot me. They won't one-shot you if you're not squishy. And there we go. So that's the end of the map, except for the metamorph. These metamorphs can be absolutely brutal. I am not going to set up my town portal in here. Firstly, have a look for good rewards. So we have the heart, which is worth getting usually. Currency is the best reward here. And take the easiest things that League exclusive unique. And do we get over the line with Catalyst? Yes, we do. To make sure that there's nothing better. So, what do we got here? Extra proj, youch, but we're not skipping that. It's a League exclusive unique. Bleeding is, oh, okay. Hexproof, and, oh yeah, doesn't have much in the way of abilities. Hang on, he's hexproof. Why am I manually casting the gem that I only have for the purposes of leveling up for a curse on hit setup at some point? That was just really dumb of me. Alright, so when he commits to a delirium skill, that's usually a good time to unload mines on a build like this. This guy's hit points are probably close to Cirrus level. But once you start spawning ads, you get your flasks back. Alright, that's a delirium skill. Oh, splat. I knew that would happen. I wasn't going to do that, Deathless. So at this point, we're going to dump everything in a dump tab, and I've just actually filled my last dump. Oh, not quite filled it, but close to. These are my dump tabs for this experiment. I've unfortunately used all my quad tabs, so these are stupid ones I never renamed from standard. So let's do that now. And just drop in a whole lot of this garbage. Let's go in first. I haven't been tracking the amount of rogue markers I've been getting in here. It's been substantial, but it's also a substantial effort to pick them up, and I wouldn't fault anyone that decides not to pick them up. So let's go and loot. Loot, loot, loot. That thicket bow is a good drop. And then once we've looted, we're going to go back and re-engage that metamorph and get some revenge, or potentially feed even more XP to it. Metamorphs have been really difficult, but that's, you know, one of the things that's the case with playing a squishy build in difficult content. Always just be careful, even when there's only one monster remaining and you know what it is, you know it's a metamorph. There are things that will spawn and when you're looting, and they can kill you. And that is really embarrassing when it happens. I forgot to get the stuff for Kadiro, but if I remember, I remember. If I don't, I don't. It's not like it's an amazing deal, it's just solid. Okay, at this point we're basically good to go. Let's just go and run back there. We've still got so much more to loot, so we're going to come back in here for another full tank of looting.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
I'm hesitant to set my portal closer to the metamorph. I probably should have summoned the metamorph outside this arena. Oh. That was me being an idiot. Yeah, so that is something Summit exclusive. That's definitely one to just laugh at me in the comments below over, because that was just sheer bad play, sheer forgetfulness on my part. With Summit map, when you kill the boss, when you finish fighting the boss, he will summon that flame in the first phase, and it will stay there and it will try and mess you up. On the flip side, that does solve the whole, am I going to leave the instance and get myself more inventory space or not? Well, yep, I am. I'm going to do it now. A lot of these Shaper bases, I'm not sure what they're worth, so my approach is to loot them, to start them at a very high price, and then to drop them over time, but to drop them really aggressively. I don't care if an item's, say if an item's fair price is 85 chaos and I end up selling it for 80, I'm fine with that. I don't want to be in a situation where its fair price is 85 and I end up selling it for 30, but I just aggressively cut it. Every 10 maps or so, I'll drop it 10 chaos till it sells. Alright, so there's still more to loot over here. Let's grab that contract because got space for that, and then we'll go and give the metamorph another attempt. And hopefully we don't die too stupid on the way in. Oh, what is this thing, by the way? Is it, temporal chains. Yeah, divination cards is fun. Maybe I'll go back for that after. I'm not fussed at all about XP at the moment. If I do decide to level to 94, 95, 96, I will do that by super safe content, and I'll do it all in one run. Must remember that there is stuff in here as well that's worth looting. So we've got... yeah, that's another 10 chaos or so in drops. Alright. Revenge time against this metamorph. You can do a whole lot of cheesy things with doors against these guys. So you can stand here, and then... Oh, hang on. That door was a poor choice, but you can use the other door, the one that leads back in here, and duck in and out as many times as you want, just for safety's sake.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Alright, so that's the 50% mark. He's committed to his skills, so we'll get out the way. There's actually a really slow Metamorph, which is very beneficial, given how tanky he is. And he's just aerial shot me. I didn't see that coming because I was off screen from him. So again, that's just one of those things where if I was playing more carefully, I would have been on screen. But that can be something that's quite difficult to remember to do when you're as squishy as I am here. You'll notice that I've filled up an entire stash tab with, not even with garbage. None of this has been rubbish stuff here. So we'll go back in, we'll collect all of the loot from the bottom. And a couple of trash monsters are up there because we've run over... Why am I picking up an augment? There was one last set of enchants down here that I want to pick up, as well as like small stuff like this. What's this? I can't remember if that's... I think that's Merciless Tear. If it's Merciless Tear, it's worthless. But if I'm wrong and it's Eternal Tear, then it's worth a little bit. I haven't actually opened that chest. Let that go. Okay, and now Necromancer. I'm pretty sure that's actually rubbish. Too late. So down here there was another bunch of enchants. Ball lightning damage is rubbish. Explosive arrows, yeah. Oh, temporal chains duration is good. That's the one that I actually want out of that lot. And it's on a hubris as well, which is really good news. I'm going to pick up this Sentinel Jacket at the expense of those soft gloves. I'm not going to come back down here, even if I do end up having another stupid death. And unfortunately, it's back through this annoying run-in again. So we do still have a couple more pieces of loot to pick up here. Now that's the... yeah, that was Mephod's own ability. The one that one-shot me last time. And that would one-shot you even on a much tankier character. You basically need to dodge that. Oh, there's a Delirium skill that I nearly derped. So I want to get back on screen with him. There I am. And I just got rolled over. Okay, well, that's why I said I'm not trying for XP at the moment. All my old standard dump tabs. Never sorted out my standard stash, and I'm paying for it now. Okay, let's run back in. So if you drop the Metamorph Scarab, you have a much less dangerous map than this is. I'm using the Metamorphs because, as I say, I don't care about XP at the moment. And he's in cull range. Yeah, there he goes. Okay, so at this point, Just wait for a second before you go into loot. The reason for that is that the metamorphs, they can often fire off a delirium skill that doesn't actually finish until afterwards. And unset ring is... what is that one? I need to check what that is. Oh, Void Eye. Something that I thought was worth something and isn't. Okay, so that's the full run there. We picked up 2 of these Mephod, the Earth Scorcher, Metamorph bits. These are absolute wrecking balls. Highly recommend, if there's anyone you really don't like, give them your level 86 ones, because they will be wrecking balls in Tane's lab. That said, I will do the Vaal area as well, just for something extra to do. This is Temporal Chains. I hate Temporal Chains, and I don't have Curse Immunity, so... just, it's kind of cool, like, level 87 monsters, they sound intimidating. They're actually just level 80. They're much easier than Delirious 86. Even Delirious 84. However, this can drop things like the Energy Shield bases at really high item level. And, oh, that shouldn't have happened. That was me not paying any attention, because there's no consequence for dying at this point. Vaal side areas with no XP in the tank. You can just ignore monsters, which is kind of silly and lame. That was just me, again, being reckless because there's no consequence for it. I'm going to have to put a note in the description of this that there is some really awful play at the end, because I just don't care. And because, yeah, I'm just not playing well. So, Void Sphere, incredible on these things. Don't pick up the mirrored one for obvious reasons. It's curious, these high-level things are, they're not any good. And we'll have a Vaal side area boss in a sec. I think they're actually really tanky on over 83. Guess we'll find out. Some of them are actually quite mechanically difficult too. Void Spawn of Abaxith. That's an Ephage. Alright, Ephage is down, and I think that the boss died as well. Okay, that was really anticlimactic. Gee, that was terrible rewards there. Anyway, that is one of these ultra-juiced summits. You can juice them more if you want. If your character's powerful enough, then by all means, come into one of these with a 100% Delirious, and you will receive considerably more rewards. But I found that these were a good balance between fun and just generally being more reasonable. So that one took 34 minutes to full clear. In practice, it's a lot less than that when I'm not describing things. Generally speaking, I am taking 20 minutes on these maps, but not this 34. So they aren't quick, and whether it's more loot per hour than normal mapping is an open question, really. Just something that's worth trying, and a lot of it will come down to how well you can sell both the stronger enchants that you get, and also how many of the lesser ones you can sell, and how many of these bases you can sell. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you've got any comments or questions, fire away below. Otherwise, I'll be back when I have a chance to, after running all of these maps.